Let's go. 20 minutes of Ippons. I tried to cut this video down, but just couldn't do it. There's too many good Ippons. I got some fantastic camera angles for you guys. I got some disgusting camera colors as well. I don't know why, but day 3 you get this gross kind of color, but look at that. Look at this color. This is a nice color, right? So Zagreb, not Zagreb, Zagreb, as they're telling me in the comments. Lots of amazing Ippons. We're going to have a look in detail. And, I mean, look at that. Sore suri komigoshi, half hip in. Beautiful stuff. Lovely sasai here. Lots of newaza, and let me know in the comments. I'm thinking of making just a newaza only Ippons video for these tournaments, just because newaza takes up so much time and it's probably the one thing that I cut the most. So as always, we'll talk about some controversies, some weird things, some names. I'll probably get 100 different technique names wrong, and you guys can grill me in the comments, tell me what it actually is. Like this one here. I think it's a kataguruma, but I'm hearing it is a yoko otoshi, and an actual kataguruma looks more like this. So I'm not sure. To me, they both should be kataguruma. Yoko otoshi is when you don't have the head in. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I feel like they're trying to redefine what a kataguruma is now that you can't grab the legs and pick people up. Anyway, last thing before we start the analysis. If you need a VPN, NordVPN, use the code Judo, and you get a nice discount. Alright, so this one, just a weird Tani Otoshi. Look how he kind of like circles around his opponent. Very weird. And also, very weird face wrapping. Who decided on pink? Just an odd color. Come on. Come on. This next one, beautiful Osotogari. Just plummets her opponent into the mat. Oh! I love a good Osotogari. Look at this. Just pushing through her opponent. Watch the forward movement through the hand and through the leg as well. Beautiful. Right, this next one. So, Abe Uta in her contest against Krasniki, she attacked kind of the arm behind the back, and you're going to see Nagasawa do it here as well. But some people were commenting, hey, is that legal in Judo? And it is. It is. So, you'll see Nagasawa get an Ippon here, kind of reaping that arm behind the back. But my problem is, after he gets the Ippon, his opponent starts grabbing his shoulder, as if it was the shoulder causing him pain. And pretty sure shoulder locks are illegal in Judo. So you see him here in pain, and if it's a shoulder attack, it should be illegal, but it's okay if it's the elbow or the arm. Not too sure. Not too sure. Check this one out, guys. Huge Morote Seoi Nage. And he just picked up his opponent and dumped him. Usually people like to roll, but there's a bit of lift here. Look at that. Look at that. This next one, probably one of my favorites, against Heidarov. Bit of an upset. Look at that triple sasai. Goes on the inside leg first, so I guess it's a kochigari, and then the outside, and then the outside again. Oh man, that was awesome. Come on, how often do you see that? Givinashvili from Georgia here, and this is awesome. So a lot of people, they go for an uranage, they try to pick people up, and then they try too hard and they fall over and collapse and get countered, but he just picked him up and then used the energy in the correct way, turned it in the opposite direction. And here's Koga, the upset on Koga, big uranage. Koga, I'm going to make a video about Koga, but there's something weird about his judo. It's like he doesn't have a plan. He just goes out and kind of fights off instinct. Check it out, Coach ain't happy. I mean, it's pretty silly, don't you think? I mean, Garigos, he's known for pickups and close quarter battles, and Koga just goes in there and tries to bear hug him. Ridiculous. Here's Abe Uta, just a beautiful Uchimata, and setting it up with those double sleeves. Faking the sore, going in for the Uchimata. And Deguchi Kelly, she had no hope in hell. Look at Smetov. Smetov coming up from under 60. I'm not too sure if he's going to do too well at 66, but I mean, give him some time. Give him some time. So that was a beautiful transition to get him to the ground. And then I wish we could kind of see in detail how he's locking up this pin. But look at that. Little bit of a neck crank. Gets the tap. Ippon. Good work, Smetov. Abe Uta again. Personally, I thought this was a bad choice by her to throw her arm over the back like that. You know, that's just asking to be picked up in some weight categories, but I mean, she's got a really nice Uchimata, so confident in her abilities, that's for sure. This one's a lovely one. This one, we're going to have a look at a different angle on this one, but watch what he does with that right foot on the floor, just hooking all sorts of feet. Watch this, he goes down for the Kataguruma.
Yoko Otoshi.
Yoko Otoshi, come on. It's a Kataguruma, come on. If there's anyone out there, Lombardo, anyone watching these videos who does this technique, tell me, is it Kataguruma or is it Yoko Otoshi? Here's another one.
Oh, it's done.
So you can see where they're going with this. I think they want to kind of rename this technique. Part of me just doesn't want to do it. Not yet, not yet. Hanging on. Here's another beautiful Morote Seoi Nage, and there were a lot of these, especially from the heavyweights. Look how far he gets down, and the tension on the gi. I mean, he couldn't get lower to the ground. That was incredible. Trapel now. Now, in my opinion, this is a Yoko Otoshi.
It means, oh, that's it, it's all over. Oh, watch how he dives underneath here. So it's a Kataguruma type move there, but
I mean, Kataguruma type move there, and there's a bit of tiny Otoshi in there too. I mean, Trapel, I know you're watching. What do you call it? What's your technique called? Spike is now showing he can do Seoi Nage as well, and lock in a nice Kesugatame. Givinashvili though. This is beautiful stuff. So I've got two Ippons from Givinashvili. Pay attention. This is a left-sided Ogoshi. Beautifully done. And here, this time a right-sided technique. And that is so hard to do, especially with hip techniques. I mean, Becker, he is a very, very skilled judoka. Left and right-sided techniques. I think he's a right-handed judoka predominantly. Here's Coral now with a lightning quick bit of Ashiwaza. Gets the Kochigari. It was close to being a counter, but gotta give it to Coral. You'd have to be lightning quick to counter that without having your back touch the mat. Look at this, beautiful Uranage. Stops him in his tracks, just absorbs the Ochigari, pulls him in closer. And then once he's got those grips, launch pad. Mark Vlashvili now, and this has happened twice in 2 tournaments consecutively. Going in for a big hip technique and then just getting taken to the other side, countered. Nice Kosoto Gake here, and then turns it into an Uranage. Beautiful stuff. But Mark Vlashvili getting countered a lot recently. Ashiguruma now, and the key to a good Ashiguruma is the sidestep. Watch the sidestep. 1, 2, gets the knee, just needs to clip it. Next up, a nice Tani Otoshi, and watch the knee of Blue. It goes. It looks like it's going to go across the body, but it actually goes behind the body. You see Aaron Wolf do this a lot with his Uchimata and Tani Otoshi. Great combination. This Uchimata, I mean, just at the edge of being able to throw someone, so his ankle is on his shin. Almost looks ankle to ankle. Usually you want that thigh deep between your opponent's thigh, but it was on the edge. One-sided Sore here, and we've got 3 of them. This one's an Ippon, but the next one, it's a Wazari, but I thought Van Tand, I think he did it better. That was a much better one-handed Sore. And the third one, well, I've lost it. It's somewhere in this video. I'm sure it will pop up at some point. So we're looking at Malai and his Kataguruma. And something that he's been doing recently, ever since the rule change, is he's been using his elbow to lift people up and roll them over. Here it is here. Watch him sneakily use that elbow between the thigh. It's legal, so why not? Nice Kosoto Gake here. Love the grips here. Over the back and then under the armpit. Classic. Probably the best way to get a strong Kosoto Gake. One-sided Osotogari here. And watch the judoka in white. Just watch him shuffle. Moves closer to the leg he wants to attack. And he's got the grips too. He just wants that one right hand on the lapel. And then blue had nothing. Sasaki here, and I thought this should be an Ippon. Wonderful Uranage, straight into the hold down, but I think that initial Uranage should have been an Ippon. Worked for him here. Sasaki's got a problem where he likes to kind of go into people's techniques and then pick them up and counter them, but after this match he ended up going into a technique and then getting taken over and obviously lost his match and he was out. DeWitt with a Kosotogake, different grips to the example earlier. A high collar grip and then one around the belt, but close enough. Grab what you can. Don't need to be a perfectionist about it. Nice Ippon by DeWitt. And I was talking recently in a post about how the French don't have any good judoka, but Jallo from France, he took gold, so maybe he's an up-and-comer. Maybe he's going to be the poster boy for French judo. You never know. Look at this. Kochi, Ochi, and then a little Osoto, Haraigoshi kind of mix up. Beautiful stuff. This next one I love because it's all top grip dominant, dealing with the upper body. He's controlling the upper body so well that his legs don't need 100% energy or power. Just needs to break balance a little bit and things will go. Kosoto goes for an Osoto and then the Uchimata to finish it off. White was already on his knees when the Uchimata came in. Beautiful work. This next one's great. Givinashvili showing his versatility. A sweep! How often do you see a sweep in Judo Newaza? That was really nice. And then it set up this kind of pin. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And guys, if you're still here at the 11-minute, going on 12-minute mark now, make sure you liked and subscribed. Because if you're this far into the video and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, help a guy out. Estrada from Cuba. And this is just beautiful, beautiful reading. Saw the Uranage coming, changed direction, went for the Kochi. I've never seen Estrada before from Cuba, so keep an eye on him. Here is a lovely Uchimata. Post the leg, and then, I mean, White was trying to get out of it, but he just had no more resources, no more flexibility, no power, no movement. Orujov. How often do you see Orujov get something in Newaza? So I thought I would include this. Drops down for a Sankaku, changes it to a Juji. Lee looking for an Uranage and then hooking the foot. The key to all of this was just to hook that foot and suck him in a bit. Watch this, going around, defending well, and then the hook of the leg just sucks him in. Getting into some more lightweight Ippons now. That grip around the back, hooking from underneath, and then a beautiful Uchimata Skashi. Kind of an odd variation, but does it with one hand pretty much. Look at that. Lovely variation. And guys, we are not going to have this beautiful red and yellow color for much longer. In about 2 minutes we're going to get into that gross color. But it's okay, because the Ippons are amazing. Edge of the mat now. Big Koshiguruma. Posts the hand down and then throws the hand over the top. Good work. Looks for the Uchimata, doesn't get it, gets countered by a Kosotogari. Lovely Kosotogari here. Pushing his trunk down as he goes down. And the control to get a really nice Seoi Nage here. All smiles from the guys. This is a good one. I mean, the Mongolian did so well with his neck and his shoulders to try and avoid that. Yoko Otoshi or Kataguruma or something else if you prefer. I'm gonna have to look into this, guys. Gonna have to do a video. Is it Yoko Otoshi or is it Kataguruma? I think we should call it Kataguruma. That's what I think. Okay, here we are. We are into the gross colors. But look at this Morote Seoi Nage from the big guys. I mean, it's just beautiful. I don't think you saw big guys do Morote Seoi Nages like that back in the day. This one too. This is amazing. So one of the defenses against an Uranage is to go for a Kochi, but Macedo just kicks the leg out, and then he's got nothing stopping him from going in for that big uranage. Martinez now with a drop down morote seoinage. Good control into the kesekatame as well. Didn't need it though. This guy from Kazakhstan, he's tiny. He's tiny for under 100s. I think he should go down to 90s, but he's got a nice sode, and if you can throw the bigger guys like this, I mean, maybe keep him at under 100s. This is an interesting uranage just because of the grip. That grip around the lapel, high lapel there, pulling him down. And this is another awkward one. So an uranage, but just the top grip that White has, it's almost around the chin. That is incredible. Never seen that before. Here's another one. You be the judge. Yoko Otoshi or Kataguruma? It is the $1 million question. I really don't know. Really don't know. Katarina now, and this kochi here kind of done in a way that reminds me of Okano. I think it's Okano. He's the judo coach at Tsukuba University. Pretty sure it's Okano who does this kind of awkward kochi that has little bits of osoto in it. Lovely ochigari here. Gets him as he's moving back, just times the leg to go in there perfectly, and then he just needs to latch on. Backwards momentum, just needs to go with the momentum. One now, and this sasai, I love this sasai. Usually you're kind of getting out of the way of your opponent, but this time he moves into his opponent, and then his opponent just took the bait. He was like, he fell right into that trap. Another drop down seoinage, morote seoinage, under 100s as well. So it's nice to see the bigger guys doing these kinds of techniques. I mean, under 100s I think of like uchimata, I think of uranage, I think of standing techniques. So it's nice to see. Nice kosotogari here. And the important point here is he's just keeping that foot hooked and attached, not letting go, not letting that foot go anywhere. Vantiens now, and watch what he's doing with that right hand. He's just pulling, getting a reaction, and then when he lets go and goes in for that kochi gari makikomi. Look at this. I mean, I saw it coming a mile away. Did you? Trapel now, again. And just gets those hands out of the way. Feeds the hips in deep. Watch what he does with his lapel hand. Just elbow up. Gets it out of the way. Feeds his body in there. Very European way to do an uchimata like that. And against Vantien, Trapel, just a big osoto gaishi. Does Vantien do osotogari? I don't know if I've seen him do many osotogaris before. Rolling off the opposite side here, but that's okay. Don't think it's intentional, but it's okay. Nagasawa, he's come off a big injury recently, so good to see him back, but I don't think he's going to edge out Murao. They teach this last one to all the tall guys, and it is the last Ippon, guys, so thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I will see you guys shortly for some more videos. I've always got content in the works, so yeah. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.